Hello and welcome to JJK Yoga. For today's class, you are going to need a strap. If you don't have a strap, you can use a belt or a tie. If you don't have either of those, I will give other options. Once you've got your strap, come to lie on your mat. So make sure you have your strap nearby. And then just come down to a comfortable position. So you can have your knees bent, feet out wide, knees joined together, legs extended if you prefer, or maybe bring the soles together, knees out to the sides. Find your comfortable position. And then slowly start to close your eyes and just bring yourself to your mat. Now slowly start to draw your awareness within. Take a moment here to just observe how you're feeling, both mentally and physically. And now start to turn your gaze towards your breath. We're going to slowly start to move towards our yogic breath, the breath that involves breathing in and out of the nose. As you breathe in and out of your nose, you create that restriction to the back of the throat, which creates an audible breath. So just take a moment here to notice the sound of your breath. As you inhale, allow your belly and chest to rise, your ribs to expand. As you exhale and draw the breath out of the body, slowly start to squeeze everything in towards your spine. Inhale, really think about drawing the breath in through the sides of the body, really allowing the ribs to expand out to the sides. And on your next exhale, slowly start to lift your pelvic floor and draw your navel down towards your spine. Just continue with this breath, allowing the belly to rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. Just keep your awareness on your breath, allowing your mind to become still from all other thoughts. Just using this time to focus on our breath, to warm up the body, and just to calm not just the mind but also to relax the body. Maybe soften any areas of tightness that you might be feeling. Just a few more breaths here. After your next full breath, slowly start to open your eyes and bring yourself back into the room. If you have your knees splayed out to the sides, just gently place your hands outside your thighs and draw your feet back onto the mat. If you have your legs extended, again just bend your knees, bring your feet to the mat. Now we're going to draw our right knee into our chest. Just wrap your hands around your right knee. Take an inhale. As you exhale, just draw that knee down towards your right armpit. Your left knee can stay bent, or you can extend the leg down the mat. If you are extending the leg, make sure that heel's pressing down, toes pointing up, Leg is nice and active. Again, just keep drawing that right knee down towards that right armpit. Now we're going to extend our right leg up towards the ceiling. If you have a strap, tie or a belt, you just place that around the ball of the foot, and then just walk your hands down the strap to release your shoulders and arms down. If you don't have a strap, you just wrap your hands around the back of your thigh, or just walk your hands further up your leg. And then just breathe into that right hamstring, allowing that heel to draw up to the ceiling, toes to point down to your face. Now slowly take the strap with your right hand, place your left hand onto the top of your left hip. Again, if you don't have a strap, you just use your hand as a shelf. Now slowly turn your right foot out to the right, out to the side. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, lower the leg over to the right hand side. Make sure your left hip stays glued to the mat. Again, if you don't have a strap, you just use your hand as a shelf. Keep drawing that heel away and just breathe into the inside of that leg. Just checking on your breath. Make sure you're not holding your breath. On your next inhale, bring that leg back to center. This time, take the strap with your left hand. Right hand just sits in between that right hip crease, drawing that hip back down to the mat. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you allow that foot to drop over to the left. So again, if you don't have a strap, you just use your hand to place the inner leg onto. So again, keep that right hip drawing down to the mat. Take an inhale. As you exhale, draw that right heel away from you. Just feeling the stretch maybe along the outside of your leg now. And then slowly bring that leg back to center. Remove the strap, bend your left knee, and place the outside of that foot onto the left thigh. Use your right hand just to draw that right leg away, the inner thigh away. Hold it there. You can stay in this position, or you can raise your left foot off the mat. Wrap your hands around your left thigh, and then you draw that left thigh in towards you and use your right arm to draw the right leg away. Now slowly lower the left foot if you have it raised. Keep your legs in the position they're in. Bring your arms out to the side and just drop your left knee over to the left so your right foot comes onto the mat. Lovely. Use your left hand to draw that right inner thigh away. Just really working into that groin and that hip flexor. Now use your left hand to guide that right knee down towards the mat. Come into a supine twist. Gaze can be over your right shoulder. And then slowly return back to lie on your mat. This time you're going to come into a single legged happy baby pose. So you can take the back of the leg, the back of the heel, the inside of the foot, the big toe or the outside of the foot. Just trying to get that foot parallel to the ceiling, knee out to the side. Left knee can stay bent, or you can extend the leg again. Just make sure the leg is active, toes pointing up to the ceiling, heel pressing down into the mat. And then you just draw that right knee out to the side, working into that right hamstring. And maybe just having a gentle rock here. If you want, you can start to extend your right leg out to the side. And then slowly bring that leg back. Place that foot on the mat. And this time draw your left knee into your chest. Take an inhale as you exhale. Let that knee draw over to the left left armpit. And again, your right knee can remain bent, or you can extend that leg down onto the mat. Making sure that heels pressing down, knee and toes pointing up. Keep drawing that left knee into your left armpit. Now I'm going to slowly extend that leg up to the ceiling. Again, grab your strap, place it around the ball of the foot, or you just interlace your hands behind the leg. Keep drawing the heel away, toes in. So if you have a tight hamstring, you can have a bend in your knee. You're just breathing into the back of that left hamstring now. If you've got a strap, just make sure you relax your shoulders and elbows down onto the mat. Now take the strap with your left hand, right hand on top of your hip, take an inhale. As you exhale, turn that foot out and then slowly lower that foot over to the left. Again, if you don't have a strap, you just use your hand as a shelf. Keep drawing that heel away, just breathing into the inside of that leg. Now slowly raise that leg back to center. Switch hands, take the strap with the right hand. Left hand goes into that left hip crease, drawing that left hip down. Take an inhale as you exhale, foot over to the right. Again, draw that heel away. Make sure that hip is pressing down. Just breathing onto the outside of that leg. Again, if you don't have a strap, you just use your right hand as a shelf. Try not to let that left hip lift. If you let it lift, just bring it back down and hold it there. Now slowly bring that leg back to center, bend your right knee, place the outside of the left foot onto the right thigh, use your left hand to draw that inner thigh away, that left inner thigh away. You can stay here, you can raise your right foot off the mat, wrap your hands around your right thigh, and as you draw that right leg in towards you, use your left arm to draw the left leg away. Keep that left foot flexed. Once you find that first point of resistance, just hold it there and breathe into it. Now slowly lower the foot back down if you've got it raised, and then you're going to bring your arms out nice and wide and just drop your right knee over to the right so the left foot is back on the floor. Use your right hand to draw that left inner thigh away and just hold it there. Now slowly use your right hand to guide that left knee onto the mat, and then turn your gaze, if you can, looking over your left shoulder. You want to try to draw that left shoulder back down towards the mat. And then slowly bring yourself all the way back. And this time we're going to come into our single-legged happy baby pose. So go to the same place you went to before. And again, if you had your right leg extended, just extend it now, making sure that leg's nice and active. So again, you're drawing that left knee down towards the mat, sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling. If you want to have a gentle rock here, you can. Just working into that left hamstring. And then if you want, you can start to extend that leg. And then slowly bring that leg back. Place that foot on the mat. Bend both knees. Have your feet about hip distance. Heels underneath your knees, arms nice and wide. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to drop your knees over to the left, bringing your right arm over with you so that your right hand passes your left hand. Inhale, come all the way back. Exhale, let's do the same side again. And then all the way back. This time we're going to do the same side. Keeping the knees where they are, you're going to slide your right arm all the way up behind you on the floor. And then you're going to hold your arm out to maybe like a 10-11 o'clock position, just drawing that arm away from you, extending the right side of your torso, maybe feeling that stretch along your armpit. So you just want to find that juicy spot and hold it there. Let the right shoulder draw down towards the mat if it can. And then bring that hand all the way back down. And then again, you're going to inhale, reach it up and over. And as you exhale, just slide that arm behind you. Again, finding that point of resistance around the 10 or 11 o'clock position and holding it there. And then bring that arm down, bring your knees back to center. So just realign yourself, and this time take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to drop your knees over to the right, bringing your left arm with you, letting the left hand go past the right. Inhale all the way back. And exhale all the way back over. This time you're going to glide the hand behind you on the floor. Keep your knees down and bring the hand to a 1-2 o'clock position. Just holding that, drawing that arm away from you, stretching the left side of that torso. Allowing that left shoulder to draw back down to the mat. And I'm going to slowly bring that arm all the way back. Take an inhale, bring it all the way over. And exhale, glide it all the way behind you again. Bringing that hand to a 1-2 o'clock position. Again, just feeling the stretch along the outside of your left torso, maybe along the armpit. And then slowly bring that arm back. Bring your knees back. Bring your hands down by your sides now. So again, keep your feet and your knees hip distance. Heels underneath your knees. Arms down by your sides. Palms pressing down into the mat. Feet and shoulders pressing down. Take an inhale, and as you inhale, you're going to slowly lift your lower back, your middle back, and your upper back off the mat, coming into a bridge pose. And then as you exhale, slowly, vertebra by vertebra, start to lower your back down towards the mat. Inhale, slowly start to lift. Make sure you're pressing equally between your soles of your feet, your hands, and your shoulders. When you reach up, keep drawing the chest towards the chin. And imagine your hips drawing down towards your knees. And then as you exhale, slowly lowering your spine, vertebra by vertebra, tucking your tailbone and bringing the spine back down to the mat. This time as we inhale, we're also going to reach our arms up and over as we slowly lift our spine off the mat. Bringing the hands behind you. And then as you exhale, you're going to slowly bring each vertebra down, bringing your hands all the way back. And again, one more. Inhale. And exhale. Well done. Draw your knees into your chest. Have a gentle rock of the knees. And then we're going to slowly roll over to one side and bring ourselves to a seated position. So grab your strap again. I want you to come to a comfortable seated position. So you can have, if you can, come to cross-legged. But if cross-legged is a bit uncomfortable for you, you can use, you can have your legs out extended or maybe a kneeling position. Now you're going to grab your strap, your belt or your tie. So I'm just going to show you the version with a strap. You're going to have this strap nice and wide, and as you inhale, you're going to reach that strap over your head and bring it behind you. Now you want to make sure your arms remain nice and straight. So if you have a bend in the elbow, it means your strap, the distance between your hands is too narrow. So you just want to extend the distance. If you find there's no resistance, that your strap is just loose in the middle, it means your hands are too far apart. So you just want to bring your hands closer together. Okay, so you just want to rotate the shoulders there. If you don't have a strap, you're just going to bring your hands to your shoulders and you're just going to create small circles with your elbows. And then you just gently start to increase the size of those circles. And then you just rotate the other way, starting off by drawing small circles with your elbows and then slowly starting to increase the size. So just try to get some movement in our shoulders. If you're using the strap, try to draw everything in towards the center. So center, try not to let your ribs draw out. Just a few more here. Remember to breathe on the inhale and exhale on the way down. So slowly start to bring the strap back to the front and then just place the strap down to one side. Now you're going to bring your right arm up by your ear and then bend the elbow, bringing the hands between the shoulder blades. Lift your left arm up and just place your hand on the back of that right elbow, just drawing that hand further down your back. Now you're either going to stay here or you're going to bring your left arm behind you and interlace your hands. Now, if your hands don't reach and you have a strap, you can use the strap, just using each hand to grab onto part of the strap. So you're eventually working your hands closer. And then just drawing that right bicep by your ear, elbow reaching up, left shoulder drawing back if you've got it behind you. And then slowly release. Well done. This time bring your left arm up by your ear, bend the elbow, hand in between your shoulder blades, reach your right arm up, hand behind the elbow, just guiding that hand further down your shoulder blades. You can stay here working on this position, or you just bring your arm behind you, again interlacing your hand, or again using a strap. In this position, keep drawing your left bicep in towards your ear. If you've got your arm behind you, draw that right shoulder back. Well done. Lovely. So take an inhale, bring your hands out in front. As you exhale, you're just going to slowly draw your body forward. So if your legs are extended here, you're going to find that you're also going to be stretching your hamstrings. If you're in a kneeling position, keep drawing those heels back onto your hips, sit bones back onto your heels. Lovely. And slowly bring yourself up. Bring your right hand behind your left knee, your left hand behind you. Gaze towards me. Inhale, really press down into the sit bones, lengthen through your crown of your head. And as you exhale, you're just going to twist over to your left. Twist from your lower spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your upper spine, middle spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your upper spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, maybe turn your gaze over your left shoulder. And then slowly come back. This time bring your left hand outside your right knee, right hand behind you. Again, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twisting towards the right, starting from your lower spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your middle spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your upper spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, maybe now just turn your gaze over your right shoulder. And then slowly make your way all the way back. Nice. So we're going to come to a tabletop position now. So your tabletop position, bring your right arm out to the side. And as you exhale, you're just going to thread your arm underneath your left armpit, bringing your right cheek or temple down towards the mat. Extending your left arm to the top of your mat. Just breathing into the under part of that right arm and shoulder, extending the left side. Slowly walk that left hand back. Bring yourself back to tabletop. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Exhale, thread it underneath your right armpit. So keep your hips stacked above your knees. Extend that right arm up now, just breathing into the under part of that left shoulder and really extending the right side. And then slowly walk the right hand back. Press your hand back. And then we're just going to come to sit on our heels. So bring your big toes together, knees hip distance or slightly wider. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you're just going to walk your hands forward and draw your forehead down towards the mat. Remember, if your forehead doesn't reach, you can always use a cushion or block to raise the floor up to your forehead. Inhale, see if you can creep your fingertips a bit more forward. Exhale, draw those hips back. On your next inhale, lift about an inch off the mat and walk your hands over to the top left-hand corner. Drawing that right hip back, bring the right palm over your left hand. And then just extend the right side of the body. Try to drop that right shoulder and forehead back down to the mat. Next inhale, walk your hands back to center. As you exhale, walk your hands over to the top right-hand corner. This time drawing your left hip back, placing your left palm on top of your right hand. And again, dropping your shoulder and forehead down to the mat, extending the left side. Bring your hand back to center. And then we're going to slowly start to bring ourselves to lie on our front. Nice. So just create a pillow with your hands to place under your forehead. Just take a breath here. And then you're going to just, from here, just make sure the tops of your feet, including all 5 toes, are pressing down into the mat. And then just place your elbows underneath your shoulders. Now really draw your shoulders down your back, chest nice and forward, gaze forward, really pressing down into the tops of all 5 toes. And then take an inhale. As you exhale, you're just going to turn your gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale back to center, exhale over your left. Let's do that again. Inhale to center, exhale over your right shoulder. Inhale back to center, and exhale over your left. And then slowly come back down to your mat. So again, just create a pillow with your hands, just rest on your forehead. Now you're going to slowly bring your right arm out to the side. So you want your right hand to be in line with your right shoulder. And then you want to press that right palm down, the front of that right shoulder down. And that stays there. And then slowly turn your gaze towards the left. Left hand is under your left shoulder. And pressing down into your left palm, you're going to come to stack your left leg over your right leg. So you can just stay here. Second option, bend your left knee and place the foot behind your right leg. You can stay here, that's the second option. Or you can bring your right arm behind you and place the back of the hand onto your sacrum, or just spread your hand underneath your waist. And if you're in this position, you're going to keep drawing your left shoulder back. Now if your right temple or cheek doesn't reach the mat comfortably, again you can rest your head onto a cushion. We're going to stay here for about a minute. So maybe just close your eyes here and just maybe return your gaze back to the breath. Just making sure you're not holding on to your breath. Returning back to your yogic breath. And maybe drawing that breath down to areas in the body that you might be feeling resistance. Really feeling that openness across your chest and in front of that right shoulder. Take one more breath here. And then you're going to slowly start to make your way out the way you came in. So bring your hand back if you've got it behind you. Extend the leg if you've bent it. Then everyone come to the front of the body. And then slowly gaze over your right shoulder. Bring your right hand underneath your right shoulder this time. Gaze over the left. And this time you're going to bring your left hand and wrist in line with your left shoulder. Plant the palm down, the front of the shoulder down into the mat. Bring your right hand underneath your right shoulder, and you're going to press into your palm to stack your legs. So remember, this is the first option. Second option, you can bend your knee and place your foot to the back of your left leg. Third option, to bring your right arm behind you. Again, place it on your sacrum or thread it underneath your waist. And keep drawing that shoulder back if you have your arm behind you. Remember, if your head doesn't comfortably reach the floor, just place a cushion or block underneath. And again, we're going to stay here for about a minute. So you close your eyes. And then again, just try to return back to the breath we started with. Maybe just take a moment here to observe the difference between the right and the left side. Now after your next full breath, slowly start to make your way back the way you came in. Bring your hand back if you've got it behind you, extending your leg, slowly coming to lie back on your belly. Create a pillow with your hands and just place your forehead onto this. A couple of breaths here. And then place your hands under your shoulders and start to bring yourself back to a tabletop position. So stack your hips above your knees. Make sure your toes are knee width apart, hip distance apart as well, toes pointing back. So keeping your hips stacked above your knees, you're going to take an inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to slowly start to walk your hands forward and just draw your forehead, your chin or chest down towards the mat. So we're coming into heart opening pose. So you really want to extend the size of the torso and the front of the chest and shoulders. If you've got really tight shoulders, you can have a bend in your elbows. Try not to let your hips move too far back or too far forward to really get the full benefit of this pose. Once in position, return back to your breath and allow your chest to energetically continue to fall down towards the mat. And then slowly start to bring yourself all the way back up. And just lower down into a quick child's pose. So again, bring your big toes to touch, knees nice and wide. And just extend your arms down the mat, bringing your forehead to rest on the mat or onto a prop. Just return back to your breath. Really draw the breath into the backs of the shoulder blades. And then come back up to the tabletop position. We're going to step our right foot in between our hands and draw that left leg back. So we're coming into a low lunge position. So make sure your right toes are pointing forward, your knees tracking over your toes, and your knee is directly above your heel. Once you find that position, you might be able to bring your left leg further back and then just hold it there. Try not to clench your toes here. Just find that stretch and breathe into it. Now from here, take an inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to slowly shift your hips back and then just extend that front leg. Keep the toes planted into the mat. Take an inhale, as you exhale, draw your torso onto the inside of the right leg. Really breathing into the back of that hamstring and also along the front of that leg. Try to draw the shoulders down the back, so don't let your tension creep into the shoulders. Now on your next inhale, you're just going to reach those toes up to the ceiling. Keep your torso drawing onto the inside of the leg, really feeling the stretch along the hamstring now. And then bring yourself all the way forward. Place your left hand underneath your left shoulder and just open your right arm up. It's just a gentle twist of the body. Let the right arm come behind you. And then bring yourself down. We're going to bring our hands onto the inside of our right foot. You might need to walk your right foot an inch to the right. So you can just keep your hands on the mat, drawing your knee into the top of your arm. Or you can come down to your elbows or to rest on some blocks. And then just keep your gaze on your hands, neck nice and long, and keep drawing that knee in towards that arm as well. So don't allow that knee to draw out. Slowly make your way back up. Walk your foot another inch to the right, and then keeping your heel where it is, turn the toes out. Bring your left hand underneath your left shoulder and just let that knee open out to the right. So you're coming onto the outer edge of that right foot. Turning your torso over that right leg. You can stay here, or if you want, you can extend the left leg further back, coming onto the top of that left thigh. So you're not resting on the kneecap, just on the thigh, and bending that heel in towards your buttock. Using your right hand to help you draw that heel closer towards you. And then breathe. So whether you're in the first or the second option, really turn the torso over that leg. Now if you've got the back foot, slowly start to bring it back onto the mat. Keep your knee in the direction it's in, but just bring the big toe back. Walk your left hand forward. You can even come down to your forearm, and you can just drop that left hip down towards the mat. And then you can use your right arm to draw that right knee into your chest. So you're really working into the front of that left hip now. If you're not on your forearm, you can just use your hand. And then slowly bring yourself back, bring that foot back. Slide that back leg in this time, making sure your front leg and your back leg are parallel. Lovely. Now, extend your right arm up to the ceiling, and then slowly bring that hand behind you, placing the palm onto your sacrum, fingertips drawing down. Draw that right shoulder back, but keep your gaze and torso to face forward. Reach your left arm up by your ear, and then just place the back of that hand onto the outside of the right knee. Now keep extending out of your hips and reaching through the crown of your head. So you're really extending the torso to the front. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly start to twist from your lower spine towards the right. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from the middle spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your upper spine. Take an inhale. As you exhale, I want you to slowly slide your left arm down your right leg and just hook that elbow outside the thigh, and then bring your hand to heart center. Keep twisting towards the right. Now from here, you can bring your right hand to join your left hand in a prayer position, and then just turning your torso, your gaze, over your hands. Now you can just stay here and work in this position, really twisting the torso to the right, or you can turn your gaze down to the right toes, making sure you're not clenching your toes. Tuck your left toes and lift your knee off the mat. So you're coming into a high lunge twist. So choose the option that's right for you. If you're coming to the high lunge twist, make sure that back leg is active. Thigh drawing up towards the ceiling, heel drawing back. And then really twist into this position. And then slowly start to make your way back. Drop your knee onto the mat if you've got it raised. And then slowly just bring your right leg behind you. So we're back into our tabletop position, and this time we're going to bring our left leg in front. So again, make sure your left heel is directly under your left knee, and you can slide that right leg further back. Check your toes and your knees are pointing forward, and just hold it here. Now from here, take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to slowly shift your left hip back, keeping your left toes on the mat, just extending the front of that leg. Take an inhale. As you exhale, just draw your torso onto the inside of the leg. So just really feeling that stretch either at the front or the back of that leg and holding it there. Again, try to relax the shoulders down the back. Take an inhale. And this time, slowly start to lift your toes up towards the ceiling. So really working into that left hamstring out now. Maybe just noticing the difference between your right and your left leg now. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly bringing yourself back. So again, you might want to walk your foot an inch out to the left, and then you're going to bring your hands onto the inside of that leg, so you can stay on your hands. Try to come to the same position you did last time. If you're coming down to your elbow, if you came down to your elbows, come down to your elbows, or if you used a prop, use a prop. Whichever position you're in, make sure your left leg is drawn into your left arm, gaze is forward. Just hold it here. Again, make sure your toes are pointing forward. They're not starting to point towards the top left-hand corner. Once you find that juicy spot, you just hold it and breathe into it. Now slowly start to bring your way back up. Walk your foot an inch to the left, and then keeping your heel where it is, turn your toes to the top left-hand corner. And then you're going to open that knee and hip by coming onto the outside edge of that left foot. use your left hand on the inside of that left thigh. Make sure your right hand is stacked underneath your right shoulder. Just opening up that hip, turning your torso over that leg. Now you can stay here, or maybe you can bring that right leg further back, bend the knee, and bring the heel towards the buttock. Make sure you're resting on your the top of your thigh and not your knee cap. And again, whatever position you're in, turn your torso over that leg. Doing a front body stretch here as well. Now if you've got your foot, slowly return it back onto the mat. Bring that left big toe onto the mat, but keep the foot where it is. And I'm going to slowly start to lower that right hip down to the mat. So remember, you can just extend your hand forward, using your left arm around that left knee, or maybe drop down to your right forearm. And then really drawing that left knee in towards your chest. Just feeling that stretch along the front of the right side. And then slowly start to bring yourself all the way back. Your foot back. We forgot to do a twist on this side, so we're just going to bring our right hand under our right shoulder and just twist our left arm all the way up. Again, just allowing the hand to come over. And then we're going to come back. And this time we're going to walk our right knee in so that our front leg and back leg are parallel. Again, just check your front toes are pointing forward and your knees tracking over your heel. And then press down through the front foot and the back leg. Imagine your thighs are drawing in towards each other and lift yourself up. So this time you're going to extend your left arm by your ear, and then you're going to bring the hand behind your sacrum, fingertips pointing down. Inhale, reach your right arm up, and exhale, bring the back of the hand onto the back of that left knee. Make sure you're facing forward to begin with. Really extend the spine out of your hips. Inhale. As you exhale, twist from your lower spine to the left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your middle spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your upper spine. And then slowly glide that right arm down your left leg. Once the elbow hooks, bend the elbow and bring the hand to heart center. So you can stay there, or maybe bring your left hand to join your right hand, really twisting the torso to the left. So you can work in the low lunge twist position. Check you're not clenching your front toes. Or you can slowly turn your gaze towards your front toes, tuck your back toes and come into the high lunge twist. Remember, if you're coming into the high lunge twist, that back leg is strong. Heel draws away, thigh reaching up towards the ceiling, and again twisting towards the left. Check you're not holding your breath. One more breath here. And then wherever you are, slowly start to make your way out. And let's come back into a quick child's pose. So bring your big toes to touch, knees hip distance. Take an inhale. As you exhale, just bring yourself all the way down the mat. This time, you can bend your elbows and then bring your hands behind your head. So you try to walk those elbows forward and closer together, really feeling the stretch along the underneath the armpits and along the back of the shoulder blades. Now slowly start to make your way back out. We're going to make our way into a quick downward dog. So just bring your hands shoulder width or wider, tuck your toes, maybe just pedal out your feet here. And then you're going to gaze towards your hands and bring your right knee behind your right wrist, right foot behind your left wrist as we start to make our way into pigeon. Extend the left leg behind you, really tuck that left hip under. Now start by bringing your hands either side of your hips, really extend the spine with the shoulders down your back as you inhale, and then as you exhale, start to walk your hands forward and bring yourself all the way over your front leg. Now remember, if your right hip is really high, you can just place a cushion or block underneath. If your forehead doesn't reach the mat, you can use a prop under your head as well. Once in position, continue to draw your left hip under and draw your right hip back. And we're going to stay here for about a minute. So really breathing into that juicy spot. If you've got tight shoulders, you can bend the elbows. Otherwise, keep your arms extended so you're really working the side of the torso as well. Now, after your next full breath, you can stay here for a further minute, or you can walk your hands up, turn your torso over your right knee, take an inhale, and as you exhale, you're just going to bring yourself over your right leg, so really working into the outside of that right leg. Bring your forehead back down to the mat. And again, we're going to hold it here for another minute. Just checking on your breath. Yeah, make sure you're not holding your breath. You're using your breath to try to create some create softness into some of the resistance that you might be feeling. So make this your last breath now. And then when you're ready, slowly start to make your way back out. Bring your hands either side of your spine again. Just extend your spine. And when you're ready, you're going to slowly just make your way back into your downward dog. And maybe just pedal out your feet here again. And then in your own time, slowly start to bring your left knee behind your left wrist, left foot behind the right wrist. Draw that right leg back, really extend the leg behind you, tuck that right hip under. Hands either side of your hips. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Draw your shoulders down your back. Exhale, bring your torso over your front leg. So use props wherever you need to. And then when you're in position, continue to draw that right hip under, draw the left hip back. Again, you can bend your elbows if you have tight shoulders, otherwise keep them nice and extended, just extending the size of your torso. And again, we're going to hold this for about a minute. Again, just returning to our breath. Try to soften the shoulders here. Don't let tension creep up into the shoulders. So again, after your next breath, you can just stay here for another minute or start to make your way back up. Take an inhale and then turn your torso over to your left knee. And as you exhale, just bring yourself all the way down, just really working into that IT band on the left side. Drawing your forehead back down to the mat, extending the size of the torso. So try to choose the same option you went with last time. We're just going to hold it here for another minute. after your next full breath, slowly start to make your way out. Again, extend your spine. And when you're ready, slowly come back into your tabletop, into your downward dog position. Pedal your feet out again, and when you're ready, you're just going to drop your knees down to the mat. Come into tabletop, and just bring yourself to lie on your mat now. So you're just going to come to lie on your mat. And then from here, just want you to draw your knees into your chest. Maybe just have a gentle rock from side to side. And then we're going to come into a quick happy baby pose. So you're just going to draw the soles of your feet parallel to the ceiling. You can grab the backs of your legs, the insides of your feet, your big toes with your index and middle finger, or the outside edges of your feet. And you're just going to have a gentle rock here. Bringing the soles of the feet parallel to the mat, knees down to the side, and trying to get that lower back down to the mat. You can either stay here in a still pose or just gently rock your baby. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly draw your knees back into your chest. Maybe have a gentle rock from side to side. And then just lower your feet onto the mat and extend your legs out in front of you. As we slowly start to make our way into Shavasana, let your feet splay out to the sides. Soften the front, the back of your legs. Arms down by your sides, palms facing up. Softening your arms, your forearms. Softening the whole body, allowing the front body just to melt into the back body to melt into the mat. Pressing the shoulders down, the chest is nice and open. Releasing any tension at the back of your neck, your face and your jaw. Just taking a final scan of the body. Just noticing if you're still holding on to any tension, and maybe just taking a couple of deep breaths here. Drawing that breath down to any areas of tightness that you might be feeling. And then slowly just start to soften that area around your eyes, your cheeks and forehead as we make our way into our final pose, Shavasana. So to really reap the benefits of today's practice, I invite you to stay Shavasana for at least 5 to 10 minutes. Namaste.